I started collecting Pokemon as a hobby last year in 2024, and after opening up a variety of packs, I filled out my first binder of pure randomness. I took the shotgun approach to the hobby as a new collector, but honestly, I'm glad I did, because that steered me in the direction of my next goal. And that got me thinking, maybe I should aim to collect something specific. I chose to go with a specific set. But how the hell did you even complete a set? First off, I went to Google, the world's primary source of information, and I typed in, well, the previous question, and the response? Yeah, confusion right from the get-go. Of course, there's the obvious. Complete a master set. But as I looked into it, turns out it's not just set in stone. As someone's master set might not be the same as yours. In the end, the terminology is created by the community after all. So I kept looking, and that led me to this incredible YouTube channel, Sleep No Card Behind, with an amazing video on the master set topic. But what really caught my eye was not just the video in itself, it's a great video, so go watch it if you haven't, but in the comment section, there was a comment outlining certain tiers of sets, if you will. And for a newbie like me, that is just what I needed. And that goes as follows. A complete set is the total number of cards shown in the bottom left corner of a set. So let's take Paradox Rift, for example. There is 182 cards. Then that is the number of cards you need to collect to get the complete set. No secret rares or promo cards. The master set is then the complete set plus reverse holos and secret rares. Holy shit, that's a lot of cards. Then there is the expert set, which is all the way up to a master set, including the promos in the official player's guide card list. I believe that is one coming with the ETB, if I'm not completely mistaken here. And then there is the grand master set, which is basically everything. So every promo, every card, every stamp, every variation, so on and so forth. Yeah, that might be a little bit too much for a beginner like me. Now, this is a format of tiers that I can work with. It gives me a clear path of what am I working towards. For my complete set, if you will, I am going to include the reverse holos. That is at least the approach that I'm taking to this collection. Now, you might not agree with this certain tier list, but still, let me know in the comments, what do you think of this approach when it comes to completing sets? And if this is the way people do it already, let me know that as well, because I'm actually confused still, just a little bit. So with that said, this is the outline of how I'm going to look at it as far as collecting a complete set. Now, usually when I do things as a person in general, I go way over my head thinking things are easier than they actually are. So this time I will try not to. Let's start with a complete set, going from the following we just read. But while we go for the complete set, I'm gonna set myself up for a master set as well, if I ever dare to go down that route, of course. So I think to make this easier, let's start off with a checklist. We need a binder, we need some sleeves, and oh yeah, we need some cards, of course. But again, nothing is really set in stone here, as we need to make sure the binder is big enough for the complete set. Now, the complete set is only 182 cards, for which my binder is plenty big. But if I'm setting myself up for a master set, we increase all of a sudden to 428 cards. So already, I made my first mistake, as my binder only fits 360 cards. Damn it. Feeling a little bit discouraged, I actually dismissed my plans for quite a while, almost for a whole 2 hours, until I watched this video from Real Breaking Nate, a veteran in this community, who uses the brilliant trick of putting the reverse cards in front of the regular. So now for the fun part, that is picking your set. Where do you even start? There are so many sets of Pokemon, so many that it's almost overwhelming. I mean, the TCG started way back in the 90s, after all. My choice, you already know that, fell on Paradox Rift. But why Paradox Rift? It's actually quite simple. Paradox Rift was the first set I ever opened up, so it only feels right that if I'm gonna complete a set, why not complete the set that I opened up for the very first time. And yes, I know I'm 28 years old and I haven't opened up a Pokemon pack until 2024. That's just how it is. That's despite me being born in the 90s. But you might have your own reason as to why you want to complete a specific set. Just make sure it's a set that you actually like, so it doesn't feel daunting to try and collect all the cards. Of course, if you want to collect them all, well, you know where to start. The one you don't have yet. I want to make this as easy for myself as possible, so let's get the boring parts out of the way first. I took all of the cards that I have from Paradox Rift right now and sleeved them up. Then to make the binder ready, I decided to get these little slips of paper with numbers written from 1 to 182. And that meant putting my incredible line drawing skills to use. Don't comment on this one, please. Once that was done, all there was left to do was to put all of these in the binder, and now I think we're going to switch over to a live view to show what the binder looks like before we put in the cards. Alright, if we take the binder, as you'll see in the binder, I have finished out all of the numbers, at least up until 182, and then the rest is kind of left for if I ever decide to pursue the master set. Right now, we're just really focusing on the 182 cards that is in Paradox Rift itself. I have all my cards right here. These are all the cards from Paradox Rift that I own at this stage. All there really is to do is to put these into the binder. I think it's pretty self-explanatory in how we do that. So if we put the cards down over here, take the first card, which is Surskit. We take out the one from here and we slide in the Surskit. And that's pretty much my thought process, and I think that's pretty much what everybody does when it comes to making like a complete set or a master set. These little notes, I'll save them for the future. Of course, not all of them will be taken out as of right now because I don't have all the cards. There are multiple ways I'm gonna keep track of all the cards that I have. I do have the ETB book, which is one of the things I'm going to use to keep track of my cards. And then I also use Collector. So this is the app that I'm using. There are multiple. You can also use, I think it's called Rare Candy from Leonhardt. I think I use Collector. I found it the first time I started collecting Pokemon, and then I really just never wanted to switch because I didn't want to take all of my cards and put it into Rare Candy. But in here, if we go search up a card, I will then add it to here. I haven't done yet. I'll do it once everything is added into the binder because that just makes it easier. I don't want to go through all the cards. Typically how I would find the card, and we have it right here. The Dwebble, I actually already did this one because it's a reverse holo. So I always register all of my reverse holos. I don't really know why. I just did when I started and now just can't stop again. Let me put all of these cards in the binder and then we'll see where we are once I'm done with that. Now I'm sort of at the point where I've added all of the cards to the binder, and I think I made kind of good progress. Honestly, this is just from whatever I've opened in the past. So naturally I'll miss a lot of cards, and there are some places where I have both the normal and the reverse. There's also one instance like this one up here where the rare card is naturally a holo. I'll still put the reverse in front to have all of the reverses in front, at least for the normal cards. Some of the pages look really good. I'm really close to filling out those pages, at least just with like every card there is. And then of course, yes, I do need either the normal or the reverse holo of that card. It's a long process. It's a longer process, and it's going to take me a while, but that is also kind of what really appealed to me with collecting this way. Now obviously at some point, if I decide to go for the master set, all of these little spaces here will be filled out with similar slips like this one with the number of the illustration rare or full art or whatever needs to go in that space. The number will be here, and I can kind of continue, but for now I'll focus on the standard cards to make at least my version of the complete set. This will be a journey, so if you follow me to the next video, which will also be in regards to completing this set, I will be opening up this build and battle stadium that I found. There's a reason for it. If you want to know the reason for it, you can watch the next video once it comes out. I'll try to make them as fast as possible, though I am collecting on a budget. I have kids, I have a family, I need to pay the bills as well. This is just purely a hobby, so whenever I have a little bit of spare cash, it goes into the hobby. And now it's binder time. So back over to the desktop, and we'll finish off this video. All right, back over at the desktop. I thought I wanted to end the video on Collector, the app that I'm using to track all of the cards that I'm getting for my set, because it's a really nifty website. You can choose to use it just to check the value of cards. Usually I think the market value is pretty on point. If we take this EV for example, which is a promo card, you can sort of see the price for ungraded and also for the graded cards and how the value fluctuate every once in a while. And you can actually, if you go down here to marketplace, you can click on the eBay listings and you'll open up to eBay on this card, so you can double check the price. Now obviously these prices are in Danish. That's because I'm Danish. But what I wanted to show here on Collector before we end off the video, and I begin working on the next one because I already have the stuff for that. But if we go to sets, we go into Pokemon. We of course then have all of the sets here as you've seen earlier in the video, but we can come down here to Paradox Rift, and I've just went through my binder and added all of the cards that are now in the binder, both the normal and the reverse holo version of the cards, and that puts us at 31%. Now, of course, this one says there are 266 cards. That is because they don't include the reverse holos. It is only like the standard card and then all the secret rares. And then we get to this point, but of course, for many of the standard cards like Surskit, Pansage, all of these Pokemon, there is also a reverse holo version that we're also collecting. So it's not just collecting one of the cards, we need two of most cards. That's actually just about it for this video. I don't think there's so much more to talk about. Obviously, and I think it kind of shined through here, I am very new to this collecting world. So bear in mind that my terminology might be horrible and might have been throughout the entire video, but that is the point of me also making the videos. I am here to learn and not really to teach. I also know that there are so many people that are more knowledgeable within the hobby than I am. So take things I say with a grain of salt. And if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a like down below. Also consider subscribing if you want to follow the series. You saw the Build and Battle Stadium that we're opening up. And today I just received 2 blister packs, which puts us at 17 packs that we need to open up in the next video. Anyway, that is just about it. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.